Recording in progress.
Leaving people in. Okay. Now, it seems like most people are in. That's great to see, you know, because we have more than 300 people who will be with us today, this afternoon, at least in the time zone I'm in. And it's 1 hour, and the next hour we will celebrate, actually. We will celebrate fleet managers worldwide, fleet managers of organizations. Fleet managers do an extremely important job on a daily basis. Not only do they provide, let's say, safe transport for the organization, but they also do it in the most cost-efficient way, and more important, they do it while trying to reduce their emissions. And so overall, you as fleet managers, because most of you will be fleet managers, have a great role to play in your organization every day, and that's what we celebrate today. So you will see that you have the option to chat, to send messages, to send emojis. Well, use the emojis, use the chat as well, maybe to just get a bit up to speed in the chat. Let everyone know who you are, where you're from, what organization you work for, so we get a bit of an idea of who we have in the show today. So what we also offer to you is the option to get, let's say, me subtitled in the language of your choice. You will see a pop-up screen, let's say a pop-up in your screen, and you can use that, you can click on it, and then you can choose the language that you prefer to, let's say, have subtitles of what I say today. So, let the show begin, I would almost say. We are very grateful for the great work that all professional fleet managers in the aid and development sector do every day. Like I said, safe transport while reducing the impact of transport in a cost-efficient way and really supporting the organization, which become more and more important. Because there's the number of, I would say, crises, natural disasters, man-made crises, but also all the development challenges worldwide are only increasing. And in combination with budget constraints, where you all have to deal with, you need to do less with more. You have an extremely important role to play. And you, as professional fleet managers, you can make a difference in your organization. You are the ones who make a difference within your organization. So today we will look at, let's say, we will look at 2 finalists. We will have 2 finalists today. And what we will look at, let's say, what leadership do these fleet managers provide? You know, what value do they bring to their organizations? So we recognize fleet managers who do an outstanding job. We received many applications, and in the end, we selected 2 finalists, and we will have them here with us. You know, within the next, let's say, about 15 minutes from now, we will have the 2 finalists here with me in the studio where I'm in, and they will present themselves. So what we looked at is, so how did these fleet managers get the most out of all the initiatives that they created? How innovative were they? How did they provide leadership? You know, and could they show that all the efforts that they did, all the initiatives that they delivered, what kind of impact that had on, again, costs, on road safety, on environmental impact, and on effectiveness of their transport. So the way we will select the winner, so the winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award, the way we will do it is by having a jury, and I will present the jury in a minute to you. So the jury reviewed the 2 applications, the 2 finalists, and they assessed them all on the different topics. And next to that, you, all the participants with us here in the show today, you can vote. You can say, I think that one of the 2 should be the Fleet Manager of the Year, because she or he did the best job. So again, it's a combination of the verdict of the jury and your voting of today. So the jury already did their job up front, and you can select the winner today. So we have 3 people, let's say, in the jury. We have Maria Biziou. She is a professor of humanitarian logistics in the Kühne Logistics University in Hamburg. And in her career, she worked a lot on fleet management in the aid and development sector topics as well. We have Miranda Chamy. She was the fleet manager of the year last year. So she was the last winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award. And we have John Sissi, the Global Senior Fleet Manager at Save the Children International. And he was the winner of the Best Transport Achievement Award last year. So I'm happy that we have Maria, Miranda and John, let's say, here with us. It's great. So let me present to you the jury, Maria, John and Miranda. And Miranda, you will be with us again, let's say, in a couple of minutes, because you will show and present what it meant to be a global, let's say, the Fleet Manager of the Year of last year. So we will come back to you in a couple of minutes, because we really want to hear from you, what does it mean to you? So how did you achieve to be the Fleet Manager of the Year? And in this case, I would like to ask Maria and John to give a sort of a global overview of how you looked at the different applications, and be sure that you do not, let's say, give away what you think that should be the winner. So maybe Maria, if you would like to start, let's say, what if you looked at the applications, what was your idea, opinion, how did you look at it?
Thank you, Paul. Thank you once again for inviting me to take part in this very important award. And I'm sure that John will be adding much more also afterwards. The two applications were very, very different. Both of them were great, but great in a different way. They're coming from different organizations with different missions, different characteristics, different maturity level. They can create different kind of impact, different kind of inspiration, also both to the people that follow them in these tasks, but also to other people in other organizations that can be really inspired and follow them.
Cool, great, thank you. And good you didn't say, okay, the one of the other was the best. You said, well, really, they indeed were very different. I can only, let's say, admit that. So, John, would you like to add on what Maria just described?
Sure. It's my pleasure to be here, and looking at the two applicants, as my colleague Maria has said, they were very different, but also very exciting, I would say. So very innovative, looking at the solutions that they presented, very good. And I would say they were bold, both of them, looking at usage of data and also usage of other interventions to ensure that changes are applied to what they were doing. And the courage that they had to do some of the things that were done is very commendable. So quite exciting, very strong, though unique and different candidates. So we look forward to how it pans out. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay. Well, John, Maria, Miranda, it was a great pleasure working with you as the jury. And thank you very much for spending your time, offering your expertise, let's say, to be part of the selection process for the winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award this year. So thank you again. Miranda, we will see you back in a couple of minutes. And it is interesting to see, if you listen to Maria and to John, then you will see that there are indeed two very different ones. But let's say the level, the quality of the applications of both of them is very high. So it will also for you probably not be easy to make a selection. You still have to do it, you have to make your choice, but it will not be easy. They are different, like I said, but both at a very high level. So in a minute from now, I will invite the two finalists with me here in the studio. So we have Lulietta and George. Lulietta works for UNHCR. At the moment, let's say she works in the Ukraine operations, but before that she worked in Uganda and in Lebanon. And according to what you also hear, you will see and hear from colleagues, she's a great example of what good professional fleet management looks like. You know, she implements practical solutions, and she shows very strong leadership in terms of communication, people management, delivering results. And in the Uganda operation, she managed to really increase the utilization of their fleet and lower the cost. So that had a huge impact, the way she managed the fleet there for UNHCR. And George, the fleet manager of DRC of MSF, in the meantime, George has been promoted to be the regional fleet manager, but this application is still about his time in DRC. And George, he was really the driving force, you know, behind the cleaning of the fleet. He worked a lot on maintenance management. He worked a lot on training. And he, for example, also actively collaborated with other organizations to deal with the waste, because waste of fleet is a big issue for many of you, but especially in a context like DRC, where there are no suppliers who are able to process the fleet in a sustainable way. You will hear more about that, let's say, in a minute when we present the videos. But first, I would like to introduce to you Julieta and George. And I'm happy that Julieta and George, you're both here with me. At least in a minute, I see they will be here with me. And it's great to see them. Julieta, great, welcome. Let's say welcome in the show, welcome in the studio, I would almost say, although it's online, remote, but it's good that you are here with me. And in a minute, I expect George to be here as well with us. And well, it would be good to hear some words from you before we're going to look at the video, which well, shows how your colleagues look at you and look at the work that you do and how they look at you as a person as well. Especially in your video, it's very obvious that they have a strong opinion about you, let's say, as a person. So George is with us as well. It's great. No, George not here with us yet. So Julieta, how did you, I would say, hesitate to apply for the Fleet Manager of the Year?
Hi, everybody. I'm privileged to be here with you. Thank you for the opportunity. And of course, I mean, being recognized is, you know, one wishes for the entire life. So I've been working with Fleet Forum for quite some time now, and I appreciate this chance. And of course, you know, sometimes you don't think you are good enough, or you know, you hesitate sometimes. But then with the encouragement, I did apply, because I know there are a lot of good people out there. There are very highly trained professionals that do their work to the best of their knowledge and try to save and try to improve, and especially when it comes to road safety as well. So fleet management is a part that we don't pay much attention. So I'm glad and I'm so happy that my work has been recognized, and I appreciate that very much.
Great, great, great. Yeah, no, and it's great that you're here. I'm very happy that in the end you decided to apply.
Thank you.
Maybe from a very personal perspective, you know, it's interesting what you say is that you sometimes hesitate, am I good enough or not? You know, as something I recognize, and I think if I think about myself, but maybe this for you as well, that's sort of not always sure if you're good enough makes you make that extra step. You want to make an extra step, an extra effort to ensure that it's really good what you do, and you're always, let's say, upfront, on top of it. You want to do more and more. So that's, I think, also a great characteristic, I would almost say, that makes you even perform better. Yeah. So did you sleep last night?
I was actually very stressed, because a lot of people are joining this, you know, this whole ceremony. And when I found out there are 300 people, oh my God, okay, so how do I look? Is my hair nice? Am I gonna say the right words? And you know, it is stressful, of course. So yeah, I was stressed. I was.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, great. Well, I suggest that we are going to look at your video first, and then the video of George, so people, everyone who's present here, indeed, the more than 300 people, get a good impression of your efforts and the results of your efforts.
Thank you.
So, well, hopefully we will see you back again after the presentations when we, let's say, announce the winner of this year. So for now, thank you, Julieta, and see you back. And like I said, this is the moment that we're going to present the two finalists. The videos of the two finalists where you will see how colleagues of the two finalists think about why Julieta or George should be the fleet manager of the year. Okay. We hebben alleen een van de... I see and hear, or actually don't hear, that we have an issue with sound. I also see a lot of people in the chat. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's nothing, let's say, on your side. It's on our side here, technical hiccup. So we will come back to the videos in a minute. And I suggest that we use the time. We change a bit the order of the session, and I would like to invite Miranda back in the studio because we're really interested to see what it meant for Miranda to be the fleet manager of the year last year. So yeah, let me invite Miranda. I hope we can get Miranda with me here in the studio, because I'm really interested to hear from Miranda what it meant for her. Yeah, great. Miranda, you're back again. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were the proud winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award last year. You know, and yeah, actually we invited you to be here with us on stage to actually tell all of us, to say, okay, what did it mean to you to be the global, the Fleet Manager of the Year last year? What kind of initiative you initiated? So we'd love to hear what you did, your practices, your experience, to share with all of us.
Okay, thank you again, Paul. Thanks to all initiatives of Fleet Forum. It's really honor and pleasure to participate in all the activities that Fleet Forum are doing. What does it mean to me? It means a lot, really. I'm putting the prize here in front of me so that I can remember I'm the Fleet Manager of the Year. It's the recognition. It's really great to see recognition of the organizations, of the colleagues, of other organizations, UN agencies. And what is the most successful initiative that I think I made is that introducing electric vehicles into the fleet. Earlier, we used to, use the big Prado and Land Cruisers moving inside the city, which doesn't make any sense. So to go with the initiative of the reducing the footprint measures and having better environmental impact, So we removed so many old petrol vehicles and replaced it with electric vehicles. And we didn't stop there, because getting a new electric vehicle is not enough. We have to use it to the maximum. So we were planning every route, every trip we received from the users. We thought we really need to maximize the use of the electric vehicles, followed by hybrid, followed by petrol. So having this in place as a plan for our fleet system made a great effort in reducing the CO2 emissions and reducing the other running costs and petrol consumption and so on.
Great. So, like you said, you introduced electric vehicles. You also have some hybrid vehicles as well.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to get these new technologies, especially in Jordan, accepted by both drivers but also by passengers?
Yeah, absolutely correct. There was some resistance at the beginning, of course, and we fully understand that. People are afraid that they use the car and they get stuck in the middle of the road, and this is quite acceptable. And knowing that the electric vehicle were not widely used here in Jordan between the UN agencies. So what we did is that we did proper planning. For every route. For example, we know this is the capacity of this electric vehicle. We don't take the risk to use it in far places where there's a risk that it got stuck in the way. So gradually having proper planning of the routes and which vehicle to use gave little bit by bit confidence for the users and for the drivers. So now they are not afraid at all. Every time we dispatch electric vehicle for the trips, there's no resistance at all. There's no fear that they will be stuck at the middle of the road. So what I really recommend is that it's not just using the electric vehicle without the proper planning. We have to see the capacity, which distance it can go, and what is the mileage requested for each route. With this proper planning and understanding the route requirements, we managed to remove any fear from using this electric vehicle, both from the drivers and the users.
Yeah, great, thank you. And so was senior management maybe at global level, but also at Jordan at country level, senior management, were they enthusiastic from the start about your ideas?
Absolutely. Actually, without senior management, recommendations and support, and we couldn't have done anything. We couldn't have done anything. So the idea, sorry, I have to go this way. So the idea is that first of all, we are lucky working in a WHO organization where it is in their policies and in their guidelines, having the initiative of a green environment initiative. And as such, with their guidance and with their insights, we are proposing several actions to be taken in this respect, and they are fully supporting it, thank God. So eventually, we managed to reduce more than half of our petrol vehicles to electric and hybrid. And without their understanding of the importance of such initiatives, we wouldn't have reached to this approval. So it's good that the senior management are giving us the guidance, having continuous dialogues and meetings, and sharing experiences among other offices in the region or globally. So all of this support comes within the organization that helps us, implement what activities that we need to do.
Okay, great. Well, and then maybe the last question. If you look at all the initiatives you did, all the ideas that you had, for which you engaged everyone within the organization, is there anything that you would have done differently if you look back at all the work that you did?
Actually, so far, I'm really proud of what we are doing, and I'm advocating that among other UN agencies. But what we say is that continuous, monitoring, evaluation is important for any initiative. So what we did is great so far, but if I have the chance, I have funds, I would have maybe now with the new technology of the electric vehicles, I would take different models of electric vehicles that can have the capacity that can be used for a longer distance. So currently, with the type of electric vehicles we have, we are kind of limited with city errands, but and the surroundings. But if I have electric vehicle with a higher capacity battery, I would take that car to longer distance places and also maximize the utilization of electric vehicles. But meanwhile, for such limitations, we have also a backup plan, which is the hybrid, so which is better than the ICE vehicles. But if I have the chance, and I'm planning to do so with the availability of funds, I would change more cars to a higher capacity battery of electric vehicles.
Great. All right. Thank you, Miranda. Well, thank you for presenting to us all your initiatives, how you look at it, you know, as the last winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award. Thank you for being a jury member as well this year.
Thank you.
Well, we will meet again very soon.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you.
In the meantime, George, we have George in. Let's say, you just met Lulietta first. It's great to see George in now as well. And well, after this, we're going to watch the videos. We fixed, let's say, the error that we had, so we can do it. George, welcome.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure being here.
Okay, cool. So, what made you decide to apply for the Fleet Manager of the Year award?
After doing fleet management trainings with the Fleet Forum, I went into the implementation phase, and everyone was really appreciating my work in the field. And at that point, I thought about applying. Obviously, it was hesitant. I was to apply in 2022. I hesitated until I didn't apply. And then 2023, I was leaving DRC, and that was the best time to actually put in the application. Otherwise, my work may never go unrecognized.
Yeah, great. Well, and I'm happy that you did, because you are one of the two very professional applications. Like we said before, it will be hard to make a choice between your, let's say, performance and that of Lulietta. Both great examples of fleet managers doing a great job for your respective organization, so it will not be easy. So how nervous are you from 1 to 10?
9.
9. It's great. Well, George, you stay with us because you come back to us after we announced the winner of the voting. It's great you're here. You have to stay nervous at level 9, let's say, for a couple more minutes before we will announce who will be the winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year Awards 2023. So I think we're ready now again to go to the video. So we start with Lulietta.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we want to talk about why Lulietta deserves the prize of the best manager ever.
Lulietta came to Ghana and found a lot of overspeeding for vehicles and multiple accidents, and she utilized the technology very well to monitor the vehicle movement, curfew driving, overspeeding, and she communicated to the responsible partners, and the vehicles overspeeding was reduced and the number of accidents were reduced. She provided a lot of training to the fleet managers of different implementing partners for UNHCR in Uganda.
Because this data basically compares 1 year against the other while she was working in Uganda as a fleet manager. And during that period of time, she managed to reduce considerably the fuel consumption, the number of speeding events, despite the fact that the vehicles were used more time. So when you have more utilization, but on the other hand you have fuel consumption and less speeding events, which are events that could be related to the risk of traffic crashes, this shows how good you are doing your job when you are administering a vehicle fleet.
And let's not forget her passion for sustainability. Lulietta was a vocal advocate for the carpooling initiatives, promoting ways to reduce CO2 emissions and minimize our environmental impact.
Lulietta joined Ukraine operation in June 2022 during the emergency, when the security situation in the country was extremely hectic and challenging. It was a great asset for the operation to get such skilled, knowledgeable and active manager.
Overall, Lulietta is a dynamic force, bringing positivity, expertise and collaborative spirit to any team or project she is involved. Lulietta has successfully implemented in our operation the best UNHCR global practices for vehicle utilization, maintenance and repair.
Lulietta spearheaded the establishment and efficient operation of the shuttle services between Ukraine and Poland, facilitating smooth transportation between the two countries. Through strategic management and effective decision-making, Lulietta successfully reduced fleet services and maintenance costs on a nationwide scale.
Throughout these efforts, Lulietta has demonstrated outstanding leadership and expertise. What truly sets Lulietta apart is her unshakable commitment to sharing her knowledge and expertise with her colleagues.
And I know that she's a very jolly person, always fun to be around.
She has been really instrumental with her impressive organizational skills and keeping track of things that it doesn't slip through the cracks.
Given said this, I would like to advocate for voting for Lulietta as a Fleet Manager of the Year. Thank you.
Well, it's great to see so many colleagues supporting, let's say, Lulietta to be the Fleet Manager of the Year. Well, let's not wait and look at George, and especially at colleagues of George.
Je m'appelle Jibril Konare, j'ai travaillé avec Georges, je confirme que c'est un très bon Fleet Manager. Il nous a aidé avec pas mal de choses, notamment la gestion des déchets.
Georges, il a toujours eu une vision d'ensemble et c'est clairement sa force. Il a eu la capacité d'analyser sur plusieurs plans en même temps. La RDC a bénéficié de formation à la bonne utilisation auprès des utilisateurs. Donc, c'est vraiment quelqu'un d'exceptionnel, c'est quelqu'un de passionné. Et surtout avec une grande humilité.
Je m'appelle Grage, je suis logiste ici à MSF. Je peux témoigner des efforts que Georges a fournis les différents projets MSF au Congo. Il a fait une proposition de renouvellement du parc. Donc au courant des 2 ans, il y a eu plus de 15 voitures qui ont été achetées. La mise en place des ateliers mécaniques et le recrutement des mécaniciens sur les projets. Il a aussi diminué l'empreinte carbone des MSF, aussi par l'organisation de formation des chauffeurs, l'éco-conduite.
Chauffeur Benjamin du projet Angoum nous donne la formation, la théorie, même la pratique.
Merci, moi c'est Messi. Concernant Georges, il était vraiment une personne formidable. Il donne vraiment des formations vraiment capitales.
Moi c'est mécanicien Jonas. Je connais Georges. Il nous a appris beaucoup sur les standards MSF. Beaucoup de formations, vous voyez nous les mécaniciens et les chauffeurs, on a bénéficié beaucoup.
My name is Joseph. Generally speaking, George is a determined person, quick learner, and he takes initiative. He is dedicated to MSF.
I am absolutely thrilled that George is part of the team as a regional fleet manager, very knowledgeable technically, lots of field experience. He understands really good the different context. He is also, I have to say, a pit bull, but a very nice kind of pit bull, a very diplomatic one when it comes to convince people on the field to implement cost reduction measures and environmental footprint reduction measures. Thank you very much, George. We are really keen to have you on board.
So it's great, also to see all colleagues from George, testifying for him that he should be the winner. Well, voting is open. You will see a poll in your screen. And please, like we said before, it's not easy. It will definitely not easy to make a choice, but we still ask you to make that tough choice. So is it Lulietta or George? George or Lulietta? So you can make your choice, make up your mind, fill in the poll, and we will keep it open for a couple of minutes. So don't wait too long before we, let's say, close the poll. You cannot vote again for any more, actually. So to give you some time to vote and to think, to maybe review and maybe discuss with people around you, I would like to say that application for Fleet Manager of the Year 2024, yes, the new Fleet Manager of the coming year, is open now. And where we now always do it at the end of the year or even at the beginning of next year, like this year, the Fleet Manager of the Year, we will change that process and we will have the ceremony for the Fleet Manager of the Year during the Fleet Forum virtual annual conference. This year, again, at the end of June, and soon you will be invited to register to join the virtual annual Fleet Forum conference. And there we will also announce the Fleet Manager of the Year 2024. So the successor of Lulietta or George or Lulietta. So during the conference in June, you can apply now. So go to our website, look at what it requires to apply for the Fleet Manager of the Year award. And then, well, maybe you will be the next Fleet Manager of the Year. But first, you can still vote. Votes are still open. The poll is still open. You can vote for who should be this year's Fleet Manager of the Year. So before we go, let's say, to the decision, to announcing who is the winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award, I would like to introduce and invite Cyril Pierrot with me in the studio. Cyril works for Fleet Forum on a project which is called Green Me. And well, we would like to take this opportunity to show you and to tell you a bit about Green Me. Cyril, welcome. Good to see you here.
Hello, Paul. Hey, everyone.
Great.
First thing, I'm very also nervous to know the final candidate. I know people are voting, so excellent.
Yeah, very good, great. So, Cyril, tell us, maybe first in general, what is Green Me?
So Green Me is a platform that we have been working on for the last few months, online platform really meant for fleet managers of all levels, may it be national, regional, local, but also global. That it's a platform that will allow fleet managers to develop their own action plan, very concrete, in order for them to enter into action, into making their fleet more sustainable and their fleet management more sustainable.
Okay. So what makes Green Me as a platform so special? What's different from other existing platforms?
So what makes Green Me very specific is that the actions and action plan that are proposed to the are very tailor-sized. Each user will enter basic information on its fleet and on the way it manages its fleet, and it generates based on that some tailor-sized recommendation. And it's also equipped with some features that allow the users to identify other users in the same country or that are facing the same issues. So you have features like the collaboration, chat, forums, but as well an overview of your performance against some benchmarking and leaderboard.
So if we look at the platform, and I think it's great, as you can really use it yourself and to compare yourself with others and to learn from others or to inspire others. So in that sense, it's really a platform, a community platform where people can learn from each other. I'm really excited about it. So, but who can use it? Who's the target group for the platform?
So literally all fleet managers can use it. Again, may they be at local level, at national level, at regional level, but also at global level. It's really meant to for people that are using managing cars, regardless the number of cars they are managing. But it can also be a target for logistician and for green focal point. Actually, it's quite a number of people that have contributed to this development, to this testing. More or less like 31 organizations participated to the development, and not less than 141 testers have had the chance to contribute to the development. It was really developed with the idea that a lot of organizations are launching their at global level their environmental commitment. But it's sometimes like for field practitioner very difficult to walk this talk of environmental commitment. So the tool was really developed with this idea of equipping colleagues concretely with some rectification action and some positive change towards more sustainable transport.
Great. So for all the people who are getting excited about GreenMe and want to use it, so when will it be launched? When can people use GreenMe?
So it's going to be launched next week. Actually, watch your inbox because you will receive like some invitation. We have planned like for a few launching webinars to display you the basic features, although it's a tool meant to be very self-explanatory. So in the coming days, we will have access to those. And for now, it's available in English, but in the plan to make it available in other languages, of course. And it's open to all Fleet Forum members, regardless the number of participants you might want to register. So if you're a Fleet Forum member, you can register to GreenMe for free and without any number restriction of Fleet Manager.
Okay. Great. So for everyone, next week the launch and a special webinar what will support you in how to start using it after the launch. Well, Cyril, great. Thank you for spending your time, for being with us and explaining about this great new platform that people can use next week already. It's great. Thank you for being with us, Cyril. Okay. So we're getting closer and we're going to close the voting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're closed. So, backstage, I would say, people are now counting, looking at the votes from the jury, looking at the votes from all the participants here. So within a very short period of time, we can announce the winner, the Fleet Manager of the year 2023. So let me invite Lulietta and George back with me on stage. Let's see. Yeah, George there. Lulietta is there. Oh. So, Lulietta, can you still keep up with the tension? Yeah? George, you?
10 now.
Okay. Well, I see Rose is here with me with the very important envelope. We will show the end result of all the votes and the jury verdict, and I will open it. And I'm happy to announce that the Fleet Manager of the Year Award 2023 is George. Congratulations, George.
Thank you.
Oh, great. And Lulietta, thank you for being with us. And like we said, it was extremely hard to make a decision. Well, also the jury, they really struggled with it because they had a very different, they both have very strong elements in it. Yeah, but only one can be the winner, and that's you, George. So, what does it mean to you to be the winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year?
I would say it is an honor, and I'm glad I applied this time around. And just I would like to dedicate it to the humanitarian teams that are out in the field, like literally putting their lives at risk to save the life of others.
Great, yeah.
Especially in DRC.
which is an extremely tough environment. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, well, you deserve it, huh? With all the great work that you do to be the winner of the Fleet Manager of the Year award. I would say enjoy it, sort of maybe accept it, or start realizing it maybe after the show today. Celebrate it with people around you, and so really enjoy it. And for a year you can name yourself the Fleet Manager of the Year. And of course after that as well, because you will always be, I once was, the Fleet Manager of the Year. And we will send you the trophy, which you can proudly put somewhere in your office or at home, wherever you feel it's the best place to be. But also we will provide you with $500 US, which you can use for education, one of your family members maybe, or anyone else you meet in your work, so to support someone who can really need education and support them financially. So thank again, George, congratulations again, and like I said, really enjoy it and celebrate it, because this is a huge success for you. Great.
Thank you, Paul, and the team at Fleet Forum, and also thank you to all our esteemed voters. Thanks for sparing the time to join us and for voting us. I'm honored and speechless for the first time.
No, I do indeed. I've never heard you not saying anything, so it's great that this moment is there, that you finally, George, is speechless. Yeah. So again, enjoy it. Thank you, and congratulations again. It's a great honor. Thanks, George.
Thank you. Thanks.
So we come to the end, and well, again, we want to thank George and Lulietta for applying. We want to thank the jury, Maria, Miranda, John, for being the jury members. We want to thank you all for participating, for being with us today, for voting. Well, and of course, again, we will congratulate George to be the Fleet Manager of the Year. So the videos will be shared shortly. Follow us on social media, which most of you already do via Facebook or LinkedIn. And also on the website, you will see, let's say, the videos of both Lulietta and George, and you can still watch them or show them to colleagues as an inspiration. So again, thank you all, and don't forget, very soon you will also receive an invitation for the Fleet Forum annual conference, virtual annual conference, on 25th and 26th of June. Thank you all. Have a great rest of the day, and hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.